this last class we have seen Woodward-Fieser rules for calculating lambda max for conjugated dienes. So in this class we are going to see the same rule, but this is for calculating lambda max for alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds. So these compounds can be otherwise called as enones. So this would be the general formula for, general structure for this enones. That is, it is having a ketone, that is a carbonyl group, and that is connected with the unsaturation. So according to this carbonyl group, this can be called as alpha, this can be called beta, this is gamma, and this is delta. Okay, so here bond is between, double bond is present between alpha and beta, no? So according to that, it can be called as alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl group, or otherwise called as enones. Why it is getting the name enone? Enone, we can divide that into two, that is en plus one. En is indicating the presence of a double bond, so that is the suffix for double bond, no? That's why en is representing the presence of double bond and one is representing the presence of carbonyl group. Now we are going to see some parent values for calculating lambda max. For acyclic alpha beta unsaturated ketone, that would be 250 nanometer. If it is a 6-membered cyclic alpha beta unsaturated ketone, means the value would be 250 nanometer. If that would be 5-membered cyclic alpha beta unsaturated ketone, means the value would be 202 nanometers. And that would be an aldehyde, that is alpha beta unsaturated aldehydes, means the value would be 210 nanometers. If it is a carboxylic acid or ester, so alpha beta unsaturated carboxylic acid or alpha beta unsaturated esters, means the value would be 195 nanometers. So these are the base values. Now we'll see some addition values. If it is having double bond extending conjugation, so we have to add the value 30 nanometers. If it is a phenyl ring extending conjugation, means we have to add the value 90 nanometers. If that is exocyclic double bond, means 5 nanometers would be added. That is one double bond exocyclic to 2 rings, means we have to add 10 nanometers. If it is having homoannular diene component, means we have to add 39 nanometers. Now we'll see some addition values for the substituents. If it is an alkyl substituent or ring residue, means that is present in alpha position, we have to add 10. If it is in beta, means that would be 12. Gamma means that is 18. Delta or higher means that is 18. For hydroxy groups, if it is in alpha, means that is 35. Beta means 30. Gamma and delta or higher means that is 50. Acetoxy group means for alpha it is 6. For everything it would be 6. For acetoxy it is 6. If it is methoxy, means for alpha it is 35. For beta it is 30. For gamma it is 17. For delta or higher it would be 31. For chlorine, for alpha it is 15. For beta, gamma, delta or higher, that would be 12. For bromine, if it is alpha, that would be 25. For beta, that is 30. Gamma or delta or higher means that would be 25. For thioethers, that is present in beta, means that would be 85. For others, it is not having any value. If it is a secondary amine that is present in beta position, means that would be 95. So we have to add 95 nanometers to that. And if it is present in other positions, other than beta, means no need to add anything. So these are the important values to find the lambda max for the alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl groups. Now we'll see the first example. So for this we have to choose the parent. So this is the enone, that is alpha beta unsaturated ketone. So according to this carbonyl carbon, this one no, that can be called alpha, and this one no, this is called beta. So what is the parent present here? This is an acyclic one. So what is the base value? So base value would be 215 nanometer. This is 215 nanometer. And now we are going to see the substituents. So for alkyl, it is having one substituent. Already it is an acyclic one, so it is not having ring residue. So ring residues would not be there. And for alpha, it is having one alkyl, that is one methyl. So for one alkyl, we have to add 10 nanometers. For one alpha alkyl, we have to add 10 nanometers. Now come to beta. So beta, it is having 2 alkyl substituents. So for one alkyl substituent we have to add 12. For here 2, no, that's why we have to add 24. It is not having gamma or delta. That's why it is not having this. And already it is an acyclic one, so it is not having exocyclic double bond. It is having only one double bond, and one carbonyl. That's why it is not having double bond extending conjugation. So we have to add only this. So what is the value? This is a 9, 4, 2. So 249 nanometer would be the value for this structure. That is the lambda max for this structure. Now we are going to see the second one. So in that second one, so what would be the base value? So for this we have to find the parent. So this would be the parent. So here the ketone, that is the carbonyl group is present in 5-membered ring. That's why it is a 5-membered cyclic alpha beta unsaturated ketone. So what is the base value for that? That would be 202 nanometers. 202 nanometers. So according to this carbonyl, this carbon can be called alpha and this would be beta. Okay. So here in alpha, what would be attached? It is not having alkyl substituents. It is having only bromine. So one alpha bromine. For one alpha bromine, so it is having substituents. Alpha bromine. It is having alpha bromine. For alpha bromine, so what is the value we have to add? That is 25. By using the table, we are telling the values. That is 25. And come to the beta. So in beta, it is not having substituents, but it is having ring residues, because it is having ring residues. So this is one ring residue, this is one ring residue. So according to beta, 2 ring residues are there. So for one ring residue, we have to add 12. So for 2, it is 24. So ring residues are there. So we have to add 24. And here now we have to find exocyclic double bond. So for this ring, 5-membered ring, it is not having any exocyclic double bond. Now we are seeing this, we are considering this 6-membered ring. For this 6-membered ring, this would be the exocyclic double bond. So totally it is having one exocyclic double bond. So for one exocyclic double bond, we have to add 5. So 5. Now we have to see double bond extending conjugation. It is already having only one double bond. So it is not having double bond extending conjugation. So we have to add these values. So what is that? 5, 2, 5, 7, 7, 11, 16. For this 6, 1, 3, 5. And here we have 2. So 256 nanometer would be the lambda max for this structure. Now we'll see the next example. So for this is the parent, that is the enone, that is alpha beta unsaturated ketone. For this is alpha, this is beta. So what is the parent one? What is the base value? The ketone is present in 6-membered cycle. So it's a 6-membered cyclic ring. That is it is a 6-membered cyclic alpha beta unsaturated ketone. So its base value would be 215 nanometer. 215. Now it is not having any alkyl substituents. It is having only ring residues. Now we'll see that. So this is one ring residue. This is one. This is one. So for alpha it is having one ring residue. For beta it is having 2 ring residues. So for one alpha ring residue, so one for alpha ring residue, we have to add 10 nanometers. And for 2 beta ring residues, for 1 beta ring residue, we have to add 12. For 2, that's why we have to add 24. 24. Now we have to find the exocyclic double bond. It is not having gamma or delta. So it is having only one double bond now. So it is not having alpha. gamma or delta ring residues. Okay, now we have to find the exocyclic double bond. So it is having only one double bond that is acting as exocyclic 1 to both that. So both the double bond, both the rings. That's why we have to add 10, because for one exocyclic double bond we have to add 5. This double bond is exocyclic to both the rings. That's why we have to add 10. Now we have to check the double bond extending conjugation. It is having only one double bond, so it is not having double bond extending conjugation. So by adding these values, what you are getting? 259 nanometers. So that is the lambda max for this structure. Now come to see the next one. Okay, so here this is the parent. So this is called alpha, this is beta, this is gamma, this is delta. So here, what is here is same as it of the earlier one. Ketone is present in a 6-member ring. That's why the parent value would be 215 nanometer. Now for this alpha, it is having one ring residue. For beta, one ring residue. Here for delta, it is having one ring residue. It is not having ring residues that would be with gamma. So one alpha, one beta, one delta. So for one alpha ring residue, what is the value? This 10. So it is having only one alpha ring residue. That's why we have to add 10. For one beta ring residue, what we have to add? That is 12. So for one delta ring residue, we have to add 18. That is, we have to add 18. Now we have to check the exocyclic double bond. So here for this ring, this would be exocyclic. So this is exocyclic to the first ring. Now come to the second ring. It is not having any exocyclic double bond. Here for this one, it is not having any exocyclic double bond, and for this one, it is not having any exocyclic double bonds. That's why for the first ring, it is having only one exocyclic double bond. So for one exocyclic double bond, we have to add value 5. Now we have to check the double bond extending conjugation. So here already this would be the parent one. So here it is having one extra double bond extending conjugation. So for one double bond extending conjugation, we have to add value 30. Now one more is there in the structure, that is, it is having homoannular diene component. That is, within the same ring, two double bonds are there. That's why it is called as a homoannular diene component. So for that, we have to add the value 39. So what is 39? That is for homoannular diene component. So by adding all this, what you are getting? We are getting 329. So that is the lambda max for 329 nanometer would be the lambda max for this structure. Next class we'll see some other examples related to this.